I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. KitKhat joins us. Hi.
Hi, Eric. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for coming on. I do appreciate it. If you would, please introduce yourself to everybody.
Hello, gamers. I'm Kat, the digital cat girl. I'm also a digital streamer and a digital artist.
The cat is probably in your computer right now.
I try not to say who I'm with.
Just saying, you don't need an antivirus. Cat's not going to hurt you, probably, for the most part. So, how did you get started with digital, not digital, but creation on the internet?
Oh, so that's a long story. So buckle in. About 2015, I first learned of the concept of Let's Players on YouTube. You know, the people that sit down and they're like, hello, I'm going to record myself playing a video game.
Yes. I've
Classics.
watched a lot of those. And did that kind of spur you into trying it yourself?
It did. It took me a little bit to get used to the idea of it because at the time I had never really performed much, especially when it came to recording myself. There were a lot of roadblocks there. You know, the classic hearing your voice or having to edit yourself or even having access to a good computer or a good console to play those games on. It kept me from being able to do it until about 2017.
So did you do anything with your voice before that? Because it's a good, strong voice you got there.
Thank you. So nothing too professional, but when I was younger, I did do a few things. I loved like choir in middle school.
Yeah.
I ended up going to a few singing lessons thanks to my parents when I was younger.
Yeah.
I also performed in a few like elementary school plays because I guess I was the one that could broadcast my voice the most.
Well, and that's one of the things. It doesn't sound like you're trying to do it. It just happens, which is some people just have that type of voice. Some people have the voice that is very quiet and you can't understand what they're saying all the time. But some people have just that natural quality, and that seems to me to be perfect for something on the stage, something along those lines. But you did get to do some of that when you were younger.
I did, and it was a fun little taste that made me feel a little bit more comfortable with the idea of performing to a faceless audience on, at least at this point in 2017, on YouTube.
Yeah, and that's one of the things too is the faceless part. You don't have to see.
Oh, absolutely. If I don't have to see me and no one else has to see me, beautiful. Mwah.
So you did the recorded Let's Plays then. When did you ever try streaming on YouTube?
I did. I think I dabbled on that like early 2018 because I had put out a good amount of Let's Plays 2017 to the beginning of 2018. And then I think one of my older like streamer friends I've lost contact with wanted me to do a co-op game with them. And I was like, well, I'll try YouTube streaming. That's a thing. And afterwards they were like, hey, if you enjoyed that, I know there's this other little website that you could take a look at streaming on called twitch.tv.
It was little then. It was barely a Twitch then. Now it's a full blown, some would say seizure. But it's so you kind of got in early on the ground floor there.
Yes, I did, but I'm gonna be honest. Even early, if you were a small streamer, it wouldn't necessarily guarantee anything. And when I started in, I think it was 2018, if we're following the timeline, it took a little bit to even get like up to 100 followers. There isn't really much that really makes you stand out in that time period if you're not like showing your face or doing something creative or playing a game that everyone loves.
Yeah. And still the audience was, I mean, you didn't have nearly the audience that there is now either, I would think. looking for that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
And now the audience is still growing, despite what people think. There's still millions of people that have yet to find this particular medium of entertainment and would enjoy it. And that's what I hope that the community looks for in 2026 is bringing the people who don't know about it yet in, despite what certain people who get awards say.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's not the target audience. The target audience is the people who want to come in and be entertained. So, uh,
Absolutely. Those who are even open to it a little, maybe those who even had a decided upon idea of what VTubing is and can maybe let those barriers break down a little.
oh yeah, because there's so much. If you don't find something that you're entertained by on one of these VTubing channels, then you're not looking hard enough, or you really just are miserable.
Absolutely.
I mean, you could. It's really is. And look, folks, I'm an old man, and I enjoy this sort of thing. Of course, I'm special. But really, there's too much for that, and I think more people will be getting involved over the next couple of years. But for you, you also are an artiste.
I am.
So has art been a part of your life for most of it or all of it?
I think, honestly, art has been a bigger part of my life, at least the first part of my life, than performing was. I started out very young. You get those how to draw manga books from your local art store. You see it maybe in the library and you think, wow, I could draw just like those really cool Japanese cartoons.
Yeah.
So I started at a really young age.
So did you find it kind of natural for you, or did it take a while?
I suppose it depends on what we mean by natural. The skill definitely did not come to me early, but you want to do it. That definitely helped me through any sort of thoughts of, oh, I'm not as good at this as I'd want to be with my first drawing.
Yeah. And that you have to have the stick-to-itiveness to do it too, because I mean, if you draw it and it still looks like the same matchstick figure you drew before, like I'm not making any progress. But there's still going to be trial and error, no matter what you're doing, starting things off.
Absolutely. Even this far ahead in my art journey, there are still things where it's like, I should work on this a little bit more. There is always development to be had, unless I'm happy with where I am,
Well, if you're an artist, you're not going to be happy with what you're done anyway.
God, honestly.
haven't talked to one yet. And my wife,
we're always our worst critics.
My wife's the same way. She'll do a painting 13 times before she's like, okay, now I'll work on this one.
Okay, wow.
Okay, hon. We've cornered the Sherman-Williams market. Okay, there's no more paint at the store. But the transition from that type to digital artistry, did you start with digital because you're young enough to start with that, I would imagine, or did you change over to that, and was that an easy transition?
So I ended up starting with lined paper in my notebooks at school, and I did eventually transition. It was a slow transition because digital tablets do cost a lot.
Yes.
I ended up starting with like a $100, $200 tablet where it isn't a screen that you can draw on, but rather it acts as like a mouse where you put the pen on the tablet and you're like staring at the screen ahead of you.
Yeah. And that takes some coordination that I would never be able to do. I'm pretty sure, especially at this age. I'm not learning that many new tricks along those lines. But that, did that help you later on when you got the equipment where you could draw directly onto the pad? Because that would develop some hand-eye coordination that most people don't need.
It definitely did help in the sense that I noticed that because of my experience with the old school tablet, that when I bought a new tablet that I could draw directly onto, I was a lot quicker with churning out an art piece. And
Mm,
that was a relief. I would usually take like 6 hours to maybe line a piece of work in the past, and now
mm,
it was like 2 or 3.
yeah. Well, that certainly takes a lot out of it, and the again, when we've talked to folks before, one of the biggest things that they enjoy about the digital part is the undo button.
Oh gosh, yes, the undo button has saved me countless times. Sometimes if I'm like using my tablet doing digital art for like over a month and then I go to traditional, I think, "Oh, I should just press undo."
Yes.
Wait a second.
It's not working.
Where's the button? This is just paper.
Yes, then you bring out the red eraser thing, and it gets all over the place. Yeah, that doesn't work too well. So, what do you like to draw, and what do you like to compose as far as art goes?
So I think it's pretty common for other artists, but I do like to draw people. I love creating character designs. I love drawing cute ladies.
Hmm.
One of my favorite things to do, actually, that kind of falls in line with the whole character design thing, is so for every year, for the entire month of October, I stream art. And
Right.
what I do is I ask my Discord community to help me pick 5 traits and I mash them all together to create a character. It's just so fun. It's a wonderful exercise in character design, like figuring out how you would match aesthetics. Oh God, I love it.
Yeah, and not only that, but it spurs you on to be creative in somebody else's domain, really, because like if you're taking a commission, they've got you, they've got certain things they want you to do. You need to be within their parameters. Here they're kind of giving you more general parameters, but then you get to be creative in them.
Absolutely. And that means that it's a little bit of a surprise for all of us what the end product tends to be.
As for me, if I tried that, it'd be like the paper is on fire. Why is the paper on fire?
You keep setting things on fire.
Yeah, I do. That's why I try to wear gloves as often as possible.
Oh, good call.
But the for the not only doing the artwork but doing it for somebody else. How different is that for you, or is it a difference at all for you?
I'm going to be different. It is, I'm going to be honest. It's definitely more along the lines of me creating my own works and making my own design than it would be similar to a commission, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. With
At the end of the day, it's like I'm using a prompt generator, but my community gets to be that generator.
wow, that's good. That's good. Now, um, are you taking commissions?
I wish I was. Every year at the beginning of the year, I put it on my New Year's resolution that once I am done with certain art pieces, once I'm done with like making my new emotes, once I'm done with yada, yada, yada,
Yeah.
I'll open my commissions. And it's been like 3, 4 years since I've had them
Stay tuned.
opened. Slowly but surely. I guess 2235, they'll be open.
And there you go. There you go. Hey, there's a lot of advancements in science yet to be made. You could still be around then. Um,
Maybe at that point I'll be ambidextrous. I'll get 2 pieces done at once.
you be I'm ambiclustrous. I drop
Oh.
things with both hands. Yes, I see. I'm one of those folks who grew up when they were still trying to teach lefties to do things right-handed.
Oh, yeah.
So I was left-handed writing, but I also had left-handed scissors, and I would lose them, and I'd have to use right-handed scissors. So I learned how to use
Sounds
those.
awkward.
So see, the righty people don't know how to do anything with their left hand. So
No, it's true.
yeah, it's like they be writing something, their left hand is up, slapping them on the side of the face. There's just no control over it whatsoever. Um,
Absolutely not. It's
yeah.
just doing its own thing on the left side. Right side, I've at least got some control over.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, that's why left-handers rule the universe.
No, it's absolutely true.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. The if you were to get a substantial offer to do something, even though you're not taking commissions, and it was like, more than enough to say yes. How tough would it be for you to do something in someone else's vision as opposed to your own?
Oh gosh, I think it would be on a scale of 1 to 10, it'd probably be about a 7
Mm,
because usually in the rough draft stage, at least from my previous commissions that I've had,
mhm,
um, I tend to put a lot more of like what I think would apply to
mm,
this character's like pose or this character's like how flowy the hair would be or something if they don't give me specifics.
right.
And it tends to not always be what they want. So I have to make a lot of corrections. And while I'm so willing to do that, because at the end of the day, it is the customer's product,
Right.
I'm thinking, yeah, well, that's not how I would have done it, which is embarrassing to admit.
I can hear your jaw lock when you say that. And no, it's not what
Oh,
they
I'm
want.
fine.
Said through gritted teeth. Yeah, it's that would be tough if I were blessed enough to be that talented to do this sort of thing. It would be tough for me to do because, um, well, first of all, I'd have a big ego, and it would be like, well, I know what I'm doing, and you have no idea what you're doing. Um, Secondly, it would be frustrating just because you wouldn't be able to do what you thought would be the right thing to do it. Now you got to do it someone else's way, and it goes from being fun to a job.
Absolutely. And while I know that that is the case a lot of the time when it comes to commissions, I I guess that's just maybe one of the reasons why I kind of avoid it
Hmm.
and why I respect those who do commissions because I'm sure it's not the same for everyone across the board how much control they want to have over the art piece they're making, but
Right.
it is something I admire. Big kudos to anyone who's able to do that.
Yep. 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 And also, if you want to, throw about 5% uh, cat's way, that would be nice too. That would be
Of course, I mean,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
pokes my fingers together. I'd love that.
That's right. Now, for for yourself, is there any particular what's the toughest thing for you to draw right now?
Oh, the toughest thing for me to draw right now would probably be cityscapes.
Really?
Absolutely. I'm not very good at backgrounds, landscapes, but at least with a natural landscape, a mountain, a forest, a field, there is, that naturalness. You
Mm-hmm.
don't have an idea of what shapes things should be because nature's weird. You can flub things, but the city is so full of like lines and shapes and creations, architecture that you're like, well, I don't think that's how that should look. There are more ways that you could do wrong, more things that could maybe bring out your artist's perfectionist streak.
Right. Yeah. Well, I would think it'd be really tough to do something, and of course, speaking from again a person with virtually no ability to do it whatsoever, depth perception. And
Oh, God.
yeah, and going from say you're going down a picture of a certain perspective down a street, and you have building, 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 taller, shorter. That would be an absolute nightmare for me, trying to get it to where it looks like it's supposed to look like that depth of
Absolutely.
vision is, and you're not really, and you're working in 2D, but it's supposed to look realistic 2D, which is something completely different than just 2D, obviously. Um, is that something you have problems with, or is it something you're able to deal with for the most part?
If we're talking perspective in general, yes, I am so bad at perspective, even when it comes to drawing people, the
Mm,
thing that I'm the best at.
mm,
Like perspective with people, any sort of foreshortening where it's like if you're looking up at a person or looking down at a person, oh, I'm so bad at it. It's something I need practice with, and that might be why if people look at my art right now, it's a lot of like flat forward facing individuals.
hey, stick with what brung you.
Hmm
It
hmm
it
I can learn
works.
later.
It works. That's how it works. Specialist. So when you're on doing the games, what type of games are you playing?
Oh gosh. Oh, a variety of games, honestly, especially because sometimes I have people in my chat like recommend games to me, but
Hmm.
I am a big sucker for puzzle games.
Ah,
I love puzzle games, mystery games, something where it's like, oh, there's a question that needs answering or there's a hole that needs to be filled.
yeah,
I can do that.
yeah, yeah. I see. Also, because I looked back on your stuff. Um, Stardew Valley is on there.
Yes, Stardew Valley. It is on there. It's something I started like maybe 4 years ago.
Hmm.
In order to start my Mondays off right, because Mondays, I hate them. But in order to start them off right, before I would go to work in the mornings, I would spend 1 hour streaming Stardew, waking up, talking to people, thinking about what's going to happen today and this week, and just leaving the morning on a better note to get me through that day.
That's
And
pretty.
that's what I've been doing with it.
That's pretty brilliant, actually. It would, if my computer was still working right now, that has my 40 save files on it, I would still be playing probably Stardew Valley a little bit. I was playing back when you couldn't marry everybody you can marry now on the basic game.
Oh, you're a veteran of it.
Oh boy, yeah, and before there was extra stuff like another island, that sort of thing. You
Absolutely.
could plant trees in people's houses, that type of thing. It was it was something. It was something else. I I had we could plant the orchard in anywhere we wanted on and like we could plant it in the park. We could and planted it where the where the rocks were, the rock quarry.
Ooh.
We could plant them everywhere, and it would work out. Now we can just kind of plant the regular wood trees, but we were taking advantage of everything back then. Um,
Everything. You put whatever you can anywhere. Make as many resources as you need to.
yeah, I would put trees in front of Pam's place, so when she came out, this is a little trick at I don't know whether it still works or not. If they get surrounded by trees, they put that little question mark up like they're trying to get around it, and then zoom off the screen, and you never see them again for the rest of the day. That's how I would get rid of Pam.
I was wondering, I was like, Eric, are you trying to eliminate her from the town?
Yeah, well, at least until I get a chance to get on the bus, then we're fine. But
Okay, okay. She can come back when she knows how to drive.
that's right, that's right. But when I get the transport, there's no reason for her anymore. Go away. So
Although I am curious, since you are a big fan of Stardew, I want to know your thoughts about Haunted Chocolatier.
I'm looking forward to it. I haven't seen much for a while because I haven't really looked at new games since since I've started doing these interviews. Um, but I think whenever it comes out, he's gonna have a he's gonna have a whole lot into it because he's been doing it for a long time. Um, and seeing what he was able to do with Stardew Valley, and continues to do with it, I can't imagine doing anything but enjoying it.
Oh, absolutely. He puts so much heart and soul into everything he does,
Yeah.
including like these Stardew Valley orchestra
Hmm.
performances that have
Oh,
been happening for
y-
like 2 years now. He
yes,
will show up to some of those. That's
yes.
amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty wild, um, and people realize that that was the game itself, and still is because he's still doing updates on it. Is all his.
Hmm.
There are probably some people who've helped along, but the idea is everything all his. Um, and that's one of the things that I enjoy most about indie games is that they don't have to answer to corporations to get their stuff done. Um, and you see games like Undertale and that sort, um, that and people still love the big ticket games, obviously, but there's just something extra human that goes into this smaller games, um, that is just a little extra added touch to them. Even horror games that
Hmm.
way, I think. I
It
also
allows a lot more freedom than you would expect,
oh
and it's amazing what indie games can touch on with that freedom.
oh absolutely absolutely. there's a lot of things that show up in these indie games that would never ever show up on a in a big corporation game. Nothing along those lines.
Mm-hmm. Not while there's money at stake, no, sir.
No, no. Do not offend that population.
That population could be ours, $60.
Yes, $60 total from that population. I also saw one of the Fallout games on your list.
Yes, Fallout New Vegas. Oh, classic. I love Obsidian for making Fallout 76.
Mm-hmm.
Probably my favorite one of the series, even though, don't tell anyone, I have more hours in Fallout 4, just because it's really easy to sit there and play the game,
Yeah.
silly style, brain dead. It's a game that I can play while sick. While New Vegas, I have to sit down and, prepare myself for all the like intellectual conversations and the really rough combat system where I'm just really bad at it. Like the combat system's fine. I'm just bad.
Yes. Yeah, I'm afraid the days of me riding freewheel and shooting things without the VAT system are long gone.
I need the VATS to hold my hand every single minute.
That's right. And I still, even though I've played it a bunch of times, I can't get the casino thing started. I just
Interesting.
It just doesn't appeal to me in the slightest, and I just die over and over again. I'm like, I can finish the game without this. I'm not going. And so, what is your favorite part of that particular game?
Of Fallout New Vegas, I would have to say, I mean, I know it doesn't count as an indie production, but relating to the charm and the almost freedom that we mentioned, I feel like New Vegas has a lot of that with the character designs, the relationship choices,
Right.
Wild Wasteland as a perk and a whole. Like it has the flavor of being indie while also being a AAA game.
Right, yeah, and having a real map that you can just wander around in. Yeah, Fallout 3 was a lot the same way for me too, but I couldn't play Fallout 4 because my computer couldn't take it, but I would have.
Oh,
I would have played it, and I still could, I guess now. Once we get up enough money to get a new computer.
oh.
But I played 1 and 2 back in the 1800s, and the difference was so amazing, but I was still able to keep the lore of the games in there, which made a big difference to me in playing it. And then when I realized how to actually kill some of these things that were killing me instantly, Mirelurk, stay away.
As soon as you learned, you just felt more powerful. You're like, oh, these things are killable. They are mortal.
Yeah, and I realized that grenades are your friends.
If they're over there and you're over here, there's less damage being done to you.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Also, one of the things that they did was create some events that were timed and some that aren't. Where if you do something out of order, you can probably still do it later in the game, but sometimes you can't because it's just like you can't go back to it, and it's a choice you have to make, which is probably good. You don't necessarily want to come back and do a first level event after beating the game, for example. Right. So, without spoilers for anybody who hasn't played it, the run through the when you get to the courier, the mile that you have to go across and blow up nuclear bombs on the way across.
Yes.
Were you captivated by that, or was it just too scary for words?
I was captivated the second time I went through it because, again, to avoid spoilers, it is the last part of the collection of DLC for Fallout New Vegas.
Right.
The title is Lonesome Road,
right.
And it has a very compelling story once I pay attention to, the characters, the lore being drawn. Even though it was pretty difficult to do combat-wise, I had a blast. However, That was my second time.
Mm.
My first time, when I was very young, I was like, wow, I want to play through this DLC so that I can meet acclaimed bandaged person Joshua Graham, who
Yeah.
is not in that DLC. He
That's
is in a
right.
different DLC.
That's
So
right.
I barreled through it like, when is he gonna get here? What? I'm just waiting. Who is this other guy?
Yeah, and it's pretty important for the rest of the series, but that's not Joshua Graham. That's a
No
totally
Joshua Graham,
no,
but honestly, again, when I was able to like take it in and feel the impact of it all, it's phenomenal. I
yeah,
love it.
yeah. That going through the first time was really tough. I really wasn't prepared for it, and I died a lot going through there.
Did you
Um,
end up like having to go back and level up some more, or what
uh,
did you do?
no, I eventually got through it, but it was a question of, oh well, don't step over there, then die. Go around this way and work your way through it. Um,
Let's avoid the big stuff.
yeah, avoid the big stuff right away anyway, or prepare yourself. Again, grenades are your friend.
Mhm.
Throw them.
They're over there. I'm over here.
Yes, throw them as far as you can and get through. But for you and streaming in general, when you had the start of the stream and having an audience and had some of these people coming back for further streams, how did that make you feel?
It made me feel, well, when I was smaller, it was you were more familiar with those who came back. The
Hmm.
more they come back, the more you guys talk to each other, get familiar with each other.
Right.
And that honestly meant a lot to me because at the time, again, I didn't have a model, I didn't have a face cam, I didn't have anything. It was just gameplay and my voice. And
Yeah.
the idea of them being like, I want to hang out with her, even though she's just playing a video game that I might like that was touching. And frankly, I'm thrilled and honored that some of those people who I started out with are still watching me today.
Isn't that cool? To realize now that your potential audience is 90 some percent of the planet.
Oh,
Now that just scared you right off.
just a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm no longer here. I'm just a puff of cloud. I'm gone.
You
That would
just drew an
be
illustration of a
overwhelming.
puff of cloud and took off. Yeah, but really, the the potential audience is immense. Now, no one's up there yet. Not even the most popular ones aren't anywhere near that yet. But the fact that there are people in other countries on the other side of the world, people whose English isn't even their first language, that are watching you and coming back for more. Um, there's your performance that you hadn't had later in life.
I suppose so. I'm absolutely performing. It could also be a testament to some people's silly sleep schedules, but I'm not here to complain. I'm here to vibe with them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And getting that comfortable association between yourself and the viewers um, makes for I think a better experience between yourself and chat.
Absolutely, absolutely. It feels a lot more familiar, and I know it's like the larger I get, it might be seen as a little bit more parasocial. But when it's just like me and like 5 people I've streamed with for years, hanging out in chat, talking about like, oh, how was college? What are your pets up to? This work event you had the other week, how did that go? Like, it's lovely to be able to just see people's lives going on around me.
Yeah. Was it easy for you to set borders and keep people from crossing them?
Not at first, because I think even though I enjoy performing, there are times where I'm a little bit not wanting to cause issues with other people. I'm a softie to a fault. I don't want to hurt people's feelings. I don't want to make people mad, especially when I'm such a good girl and I've never done anything wrong. But
Never.
never wagging my finger. You don't understand. I'm the good girl.
Okay.
But I think eventually, once a line has been crossed and I realize, oh, I'm uncomfortable, I need to set up a boundary lest I'm uncomfortable for the rest of my life.
Hmm.
It sort of puts it in perspective and it becomes a lot easier to put up a boundary, especially like on the second, third, or fourth time it happens with other like cases, not just the first one, but like other cases.
Yeah,
It becomes easier to be like, hey, not allowed. Uh, don't do that or hit the road.
that's right. Don't bring up Brussels sprouts ever again. Uh,
Absolutely, they stinky.
yes, horrible, horrible things. My
Don't
grandson
boil
loves them.
those things.
My grandson loves them, and I don't know where that comes from. Thank
Interesting.
you.
Brussels sprout hater over
I,
here.
where was he back when I was in grade school and they gave us Brussels sprouts at lunch? Like,
You would have been shoveling them onto his plate.
oh man, whoever we always had one kid who would eat the stuff we didn't like spinach and stuff.
Oh.
And they were the hero that day because we had to clean our plates before we went out and played, kill the guy with a football. And so they were the hero for that day. Um, for you and streaming, did you set any goals when you started VTubing, or was it a fact of let's see how this aspect works?
Definitely the latter more than the former. It was definitely me looking at my streams. 2021, 2022, I had tried to make some changes because I was looking at my streams and I wasn't happy with the amount of like, this sounds very shallow, but the amount of growth that I had been receiving. And I was thinking, what can I do to like visually make my streams unique?
Hmm.
The underlying thing that I wish like I could do, but never wanted to do because of anonymity was, having a webcam and being able to show like the physical reaction to things. Like that was something that I said, it would be really nice to have that, but I do not want to sacrifice my privacy.
Mm.
And when I eventually heard about, not even about like it being called VTubing, but rather there are people who use anime characters as their webcam,
Hmm.
like it really appealed to me.
Yeah, it really does. It gives you. It's not exactly a shield, but it is at least a mask.
It's a mask, it blurs things a little.
Yeah, and it's a for some people they take it to the extreme as far as being a character in it, but for some people they tell me that it lets them be more themselves than they do outside the computer. Where you can let the hair down a little bit and be a little more crazy and open about some things and not worry about you know having somebody stop you on the street the next day and say, why were you arrested last night, that sort of thing. um it is a it is a comfort level for some. And if you, where you're at now, didn't have that particular avatar in front of you, do you think you could keep with what you've got going with a live cam? Do you think you would be interested in doing that?
If the concept of VTubing never existed, I probably would still not use a webcam. I wouldn't be where I am today, but it's one of those things where once your face is connected to a username and it's put out on the internet, it's there,
Right.
and I just don't feel comfortable with that.
Yeah. Well, I was a radio guy for so long that I understand that completely. Um, as, as a video did try to kill us, the radio people, but it,
Oh, absolutely. I heard that it did
yeah.
kill the radio stars,
Well,
but you're still here.
it might be a little. It went. I was hitting the knee, but other than that, it was okay.
Oh, Skyrim mention?
Yes, but and there are people who really still don't understand what the whole thing is about. If you were to have one of those people in front of you and said, "Explain to me what being a VTuber is," could you do that without having to think too hard?
Oh, oh, that's the thing. I overthink everything, Eric. But if I had to, I would probably describe it as it's someone who is pretending to be a character they made,
Uh-huh.
and they're using it as a webcam filter
Mm,
so that when they move around or smile at people or shake their head, it just does that for them.
okay. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. And
Maybe
the
I
idea
should
of
have
it
thought
being a
about that more.
yeah, the idea of it being a webcam filter is I think that's a good concept to go with. If you're just starting from scratch and explaining it to people, um, and once they start to ask questions, you can get a little more in depth with it, I imagine. That's
Absolutely.
a good start. But the whole thing to me still comes down to being able to use your voice to draw people in and have the personality come through in your voice. Uh, it's very much that way because people can have extremely amazing avatars, but if frankly, listening and to you is like watching paint dry, it's still not going to draw too many people in to stay.
Absolutely.
To stay. Now, realizing this and realizing that you've got people who are coming back to you, they're doing this for you and your personality. Um,
Which is really touching. And I think that would explain, like, all of the lurkers that I tend to have.
mhm,
It's probably not something that would show up if I just had a really nice model but didn't do much with my voice.
mhm.
If you're lurking, you can hear the voice, you don't see the model, but if the voice you're hearing isn't good, you're not going to lurk.
Right, right, and then you don't have to have the greatest voice in the world. If you've got a good personality, go along with it and are fun and doing things, or if you're, but it if you don't have both or either the personality or the voice, you've got a bit of a bigger hill to climb to get a lot of people there.
Absolutely.
And you had better do something really interesting on your stream.
You
And
got to be creative. You got to do something that makes you stand out.
yeah, absolutely. Is there a certain type of stream that you'd like to do you haven't done yet?
Oh, so it's both surprising and probably a little basic of me to say, but I would genuinely one time love to do a no nonsense, just chatting stream where I
Mm.
sit there and I hang out with people and I just talk with them because I, if conversation stops, I usually have like a video game that I can riff off of. But
Right.
if I'm in a just chatting stream, I'm like, well, if no one's talking, am I just going to ramble? So that's kept me from doing it.
It is. That's something that the old radio guys used to have to learn how to do because we would have to back time and try to hit something at an exact time. And if you had a minute and 37 seconds of time between, you better figure out something to say. Otherwise, it's going to be a long time of in between one and the other. So you learn how to kind of talk in circles or knew how to say the same thing in a different way. Uh, throw something with a little bit of a hook on it to see if anybody bites, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Being able
Um,
to make small talk so you don't go too overtime, but not too undertime.
right, right, right. And don't get so involved in it that instead of going a minute 37, you go 2 minutes and overrun the important stuff. I while we don't have the radio people around today, that the local radio is very tough to do and make any living off of it for sure. Um,
Oh,
but I think that folks of the generations after me now are finding that this is a good way be a vocal to be a vocal personality. Um, it's still a lot of visual in it, but the vocal part is so important at this point.
it is. Alongside what we were talking earlier with you should have like some personality, you should have something going on.
Yeah,
If someone with a voice like that is already like, yes, I know I want to do something with my voice, those doors open up.
yeah. So, are we going to see any musical streams from you?
Oh gosh, no. Even though I used to take lessons, even though I was in choir during school, probably hear this a lot, performing music, singing in front of other people,
Yeah.
people are a lot more picky about notes and like song performances. I could not do that even as like a jokey, oh, for a celebration I'm going to do a karaoke stream. No. No, thank you.
I can't blame you one bit. The karaoke stuff just freezes my legs in my chair. Although I have done it a couple times,
Oh,
and it's gone okay.
I'm sure it
I
has.
didn't hurt anybody.
Nothing was set on fire.
No, my legs didn't break from the knees knocking and that sort of thing.
Oh.
But yeah, it's still getting in front and performing in front of people who are watching you, and that is so much
Mhm.
different than grabbing a microphone and talking and not knowing. I mean, you can know there's X amount of people out there, but you don't see them. You're really talking one on one with so many different people in this sort of thing, rather than one to a crowd of 100 sitting in front of you. Uh, there's a big difference in that.
Oh yeah, a lot more intimidating when you see those peepers staring at you versus, people writing text on a screen.
Yeah, yeah. And then later on, you get those nasty texts, and then you can deal with them when you want to.
Mhm. Mhm.
But I don't think you're getting any of those. You're just too easy and fun to talk with and entertaining. And folks, we're gonna have all the links to find out what KitKhat's got going on, and another great VTuber you need to support. Find out what they're up to. You got any big events coming up here at the end of the year?
I do. To celebrate my 900 follower goal, I will be doing a stream on December 31st.
Hmm.
I'm basically going to be playing the game Fuck Mary Kill, but with video games that
Yeah,
people submit.
yeah, yeah.
And I'm just looking forward to it. I love talking about video games, and I think it's both silly and fun that I can just put them in that mold in Fuck Mary Kill. I'm just so excited.
Folks, that's coming up on the 31st. And again, we'll have the links in the description for the video. You've been able to find out a little bit about KitKhat in this interview, but you need to find out on your own. Uh, head to those links and have a wonderful time with this wonderful person. Thank you so much for coming on. I do appreciate
Thank
it.
you. This was lovely. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.